All right. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you all to my conversation today on holiday strategies. So it is almost Thanksgiving. There's a lot of potential problems that could arise in the next few days, weeks, months. So this was historically a problem time period for me because my birthday is November 19th, yesterday. And back in the day, I would, you know, indulge like many others and have gluten and dairy and sugar and all kinds of other things. And, you know, back, in the day when Halloween was around, I would eat, milk chocolate things like most normal people. So it was a spiral period of time, this last part of the year. So I really don't have that happen much anymore because I do a better job of the little things. Little things make a difference. My diet's pretty dialed in. I don't count calories. I don't weigh my food. I'm really focused on two key things. Can I digest this thing or things? And I want to prevent highs and lows and blood sugar spikes. So those are the foundations of nutrition. So we can count calories but it's like that's so 1980s. So, we really need to dial in our food. So most people that I work with, Joni, Miriam, Marcia, they've been with me for a while. We've done testing, food, whether it be food sensitivity testing. We can look at gut microbiome. We can look at DNA. We can get really specific, and as Joni could probably attest to, it could be overwhelming. There's so
Yeah.
many things that we can test now, but we can get very personal. We can even find out, like, even with the DNA stuff, like you might have an MTHFR gene mutation, and that would make it more of a problem, which is very common. It would be more of a common for you not to be able to um, break down B vitamin based foods or like a lot of processed foods. So we have to be very careful on what we eat. We can't just eat anything just because it's given to us. And you can, you're just going to have consequences. So I'm not going to get into all of that today, but I'm going to give some basic strategies. But just I want you to know that we can do a lot more. And this is a lifelong journey. It's a journey to feel better. But I know when Joni's on point, she loses weight, she reduces her inflammation, she feels better. Same thing with Marcia. I mean, I know, when she eats gluten, she's going to gain 2 pounds. We see it over and over again, and it's stuff is repeatable. So, so there's things that we can do to get more specific. Okay. So today I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna give everybody this document that's here. So I just put it in the chat box, but I'm gonna share my screen and show that particular document and just kind of go over this here, but it's pretty self-explanatory stuff. I consider these things pretty basic foundations. And let's talk about it. So strategy number one,
Green
right?
Defense.
So strategy number one, we're going to go Thanksgiving plate strategy. Okay. So we're going to talk about not just food, but a little bit of movement, hydration, and so on. But two key things that we must eat. I call this the metabolic shield. Number one, high quality protein. So we mentioned this a little bit before we hit the record button, but protein is your metabolic defense shield. It requires more energy to digest. You actually burn more calories digesting protein or eating protein. It stabilizes your blood sugar levels. It provides satisfaction, which naturally reduces the amount of dessert or starchy carbs you'll want later. So I am going to eat dessert for Thanksgiving. I'm probably just going to go with an anything goes day this year. Sometimes I really try to stick with a gluten-free, dairy-free model. Other times I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have an anything goes day. So based upon my health, wellness, what's going on with my gut health, um, it just depends. But this year, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to just have anything I want on that given day, but then I'm not going to have the bad things the next day because I know myself, my immune system, my gut health. I can't keep assaulting my system. All right. And again, it's not about calories. If I eat, I mean, I've had this, I've tested this a million times. Even if I have a little bit of cream in my coffee that's, let's say 30 calories, I'm still going to get bloated and gassy. It's still going to create inflammation. It's got nothing to do with the calories, right? Just a little bit will create havoc. So just want to make sure we understand that concept. I want to reduce your inflammation. If you have knee, ankle, hip, back inflammation, whatever, if I can reduce the inflammation from your food breakdown, you're going to heal faster. So just kind of keep that in mind. So when it comes to protein, think about if you're having turkey, let's have, it says turkey breast, but I didn't write this, but I think I should add this. Turkey breast without skin or gravy. Depends on the gravy as well. But um, you know, thigh meat is fine. There's no breast meat is not better. So that's one thing I do need to make sure we do not think that the thigh meat is bad. I actually prefer the dark meat. So I would rather have the dark meat over the turkey breast. There's actually more nutritional value. So um, and again, even the skin, I'm not I'm actually gonna get rid of that whole thing. So let's just take that out. That's gonna create more problems. Because that's actually not true. So the skin, if it's a organic turkey, I'm okay eating that skin. It's going to make me full. So, so remember, protein and fat and fiber make you full. Protein, fat, fiber make you full. Okay. So I'm fine with the whole turkey. What I don't really want to eat, I don't really want to eat an inorganic turkey at all, really. But I wouldn't want the skin on an inorganic turkey. Right? It's going to have more toxins in the fat, but a healthy turkey, if it's roaming around the yard, eating grass and worms and all that good stuff, it's probably going to be okay. It's not loaded with hormones, not loaded with antibiotics. It's probably fine. So let's focus on the protein. So, half your plate, let's try to make it protein. The other half, vegetables. That's a good start. Okay. High fiber vegetables, preferably. So green beans, Brussels sprouts, some salad. So that should be our two key pieces of the puzzle for the plate. Okay. And yeah, I got to fix some of these little things here. But so it says start with half your plate of protein and vegetables. And then let's eat some of those things and then add some carbohydrates based upon your goals. So generally a serving of carbs like sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, bread, one serving would be a fist. Okay. Ideal world, we're reducing the gluten. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes would be good. You could even get gluten-free stuffing. We just want to be careful of how many carb servings you have, right? Um, so, but again, if you're just going crazy and you just want to make it a full-on cheat meal, go for it. But I would still recommend eating the protein and the vegetables first. Okay. Any thoughts on that? Pretty basic foundation stuff. Anybody having turkey,
Yes.
Yeah.
ham, steak,
Yeah.
eggs?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can have eggs for dinner, you can have eggs for lunch, eggs for Thanksgiving. It's all good. Tofu turkey. Anybody having a tofu turkey out there?
No.
No. Yeah. I don't really recommend it. All right. All right. So strategy two. So a little bit of mindset and stress reduction. Um, so things to consider. So for me, every Thanksgiving, I work out in the morning. So I kind of do my normal process. So we talked a little bit about hydration earlier today, uh, before I hit the recording. So every morning, my goal is to start with my day with 24 ounces of water. I know that's a lot for you guys, but I didn't just go to 24 ounces of water. I've been progressively working myself up to that. And again, I'm not just pounding 24 ounces of water, but I have a mason jar. I put 24 ounces of water in the mason jar, put it on my bathroom sink, and it reminds me to drink my water first thing in the morning. So I get up most mornings, 6 o'clock, usually go to the bathroom like most people, grab my water, take a little sip, and then I walk to the kitchen with my water. Okay. So if I brush my teeth, I won't drink my water, by the way. So it's a weird thing. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but if I brush my teeth, I can't drink water. I'm not even thirsty anymore. So thirst is interesting. But I'll add I'll add creatine, 5 grams typically, but today I had 10 grams because I was feeling a little tired. So I'm adding more creatine if I'm more fatigued or if I need to be better with my brain health. More creatine, better brain health for the most part. So, and then I'm going to add electrolytes. So at Lifetime, we have a really good product called Hydrate. I like that one. Or I might use actually a company, another company we work with called Nutridyne. They also have a product called Hydrate, both are called Hydrate. So I'm looking for a product with sodium, magnesium, potassium. Those are the three key minerals: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And it's good to start your day with these salts because we are sweating at nighttime and we are losing weight, we are losing electrolytes. So just remember, we lose weight, we lose our salts through breathing, especially if you're a mouth breather, sleeping. You're going to need more. But maybe you sweat, you're going to need more. But and you can weigh yourself, and you're going to see like if you weighed yourself, you're going to lose good 3 pounds from night to morning. Okay, so start your day. If you don't want to spend the money on electrolytes, you know, I would recommend it, but budgets are budgets. Add a pink Himalayan salt. All right, let's just start with the pink Himalayan salt combo. There's trace minerals in there. It's not the same amounts, but it'll be better than nothing. Okay, it's a little bit of salt to start the day. Um, so that's in that, and then ideally, I would recommend getting some sunlight as soon as the sun comes up. If we can get 10 minutes of sun or more, that'd be amazing. Uh, that'd be a great way to increase cortisol and reduce melatonin, which is your stress and sleep hormones. We want cortisol to be elevated in the morning. You could drink your water outside. I know it's a little chilly right now, but it's going to wake you up. It is going to help you sleep later in the night. Okay. Um, and then if we could get our workout in, that'd be awesome. That'd be great, right? That's my normal day. But even I would say even more important on a day where I'm going to indulge. And then optimally, if I could get a little walk in after I eat all that food, and I'm going to eat a lot of food too. Um, if I can get a little walk in, that'll be great. I'm going to help reduce those blood glucose levels, help my digestion, not going intense, but just an easy walk, right? And then sleep is always a need before, after, all the time. Do the best you can, to keep our sleep focused during these holidays. I know I'm going to be up till like 2 in the morning, so this is the biggest challenge for me. I'm with 18 people for 6 days, so
Mm.
I have very little control. Well, I can control my food. So some of you say, well, I can't control my food. I'm with my relatives. I disagree.
Yeah.
Mm.
I actually totally disagree with that. You can bring food, you can bring snacks, you can bring your protein powder. You might, you don't have to eat everything. So that's your choice. Um, if you say, well, I want to make something, like you might say, well, I'm going to somebody's house. You could actually offer to bring something. For the most part, you can control some of this, but you might not be able to control one meal as much. I get it. And you don't want to be rude sometimes, but you could also eat theoretically before you go and just have a little
Mhm.
food over the course of that meal, right? And just to not be the rude person. But also, if you just let people know, like, I don't know if Tanya's still here, but Tanya said something recently, like, I know initially when we started working together, she was mentioning that, you know, it just feels rude, right? If you're not eating someone else's food. But if you let people know, like, hey, I'm really trying to work on something. I'm pre-diabetic, or I got these gut issues. Like, hey, that's actually a real thing. So, um, if you let people know, there's not a disrespect that's going to happen. So, but yeah, we will be having a big Thanksgiving meal. There will be lots of choices. I don't like, there'll be several, like turkey and ham or something else. There'll be like three different desserts, probably. I could pick the healthier one or not. I could just go crazy, right? So it's totally your choice. I have no judgment about the whole thing. Honestly, I'm just trying to make you feel as good as you can. And I think my biggest thing is, the next day. Like I'm okay with eating, you know, and deviating, once in a while. It's more of the leftovers and the leftovers and the leftovers. Eating that same thing over and over again is usually what causes us problems.
Mhm.
Can I
All
ask a
right. So,
question?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you said you took 10 grams of the creatine in the morning as one shot.
I
Um,
did, yes. But I've
so
been taking it for a while too.
what are your
Uh,
thoughts on splitting it up? If I did 5 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon, or
yeah,
will
you
it
can totally
interrupt
do that.
your sleep or
No, no, no.
thoughts on
It's
it?
not gonna affect your sleep at all. No.
Oh,
It's not a stimulant. No. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, the problem with, like, people in the research are going up to 20 grams, but that's
wow.
not like, you're not like doing that all. The biggest problem with having more creatine is GI upset, or a
Mm.
little bit of, you're gonna hold on to water, you might get a little bloated. But yeah, you'll know. You'll know, like, your stomach's not gonna be like, I don't feel good. Right. So I don't notice any difference at all with 10 grams. I have 5 every morning though. Then sometimes I'll go up to 10. I've never tried any more than that. But one of our trainers in here, you might know him. His name's Danny. Here, those of you who go to Lifetime, him and I look alike for the most, kind of. Um, no, he was taking 20 grams for 2 months, and he said he kind of just stopped doing it because he just felt a little weird in his stomach. But he would split it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to bow out. I have an appointment at 5 I
Okay.
need to drive to. So, but
Okay.
thank you for inviting me to
Yeah.
join. So
You got
appreciate
it. Thanks for jumping in.
it. All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'll see you at the club.
You got it. Take care.
Bye.
All right. So a couple other things here. So social and emotional defense. So breathing. Um, this is designed to be before you go to eat somewhere, but before you walk in the door, take some deep breaths. Inhale for 4. This is called the 4-7-8 method. There's a million breathing methods, but inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And when you're eating, right before you're eating, think about what you're grateful for. One of the first things we talk about every week is, what are your wins? It's a practice. Oftentimes they say practice gratitude. It's a practice. It's a skill. It's not easy, especially in this day and age. I don't see a lot of gratitude. I don't see a lot of people in a state of appreciation. I see a lot of negativity. I see more people in negativity than I see in gratitude. It's honestly quite disgusting, so especially on the political front, right? So we're not very nice at all to each other, and to ourselves. So that little practice that I said today, for when we talked about, Kathy and I were talking, and I said, what are your wins? And it's so easy to not have wins, and we beat up on ourselves constantly. So just give yourself some grace. you know be grateful for this moment. Grateful for your friends, your family, because sadly it can all be taken away, and then you can't be grateful. So um So this day is about gratitude, Thursday, but ideally every day is like that. And that's not easy by any means, but it's a practice. So think about that as you're breathing. I also just put, don't take things personally. You know, it's hard being around a lot of people and there's differences in opinions. Holidays nowadays is when people stop talking to each other, right? We get in arguments with people, with their friends and family, and one thing you say could turn into you never talking to that person again. Sisters, brothers, it's insane. But don't take things personally, and I want to avoid political conversations. Might just be a little bit easier, but take some deep breaths. Try not to be reactive, right? Another reason to be careful of, like, or having a game plan for the day, like getting your water, getting that sunlight, getting that workout. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel better mentally and emotionally, which will lead into better conversations. Right. Number three, food defense, enzymes. I will be bringing both of those enzymes. See that product called glutathione and Digestive Complete. Those are two products I will be bringing to the Thanksgiving table, and I'll be passing them around. Um, who I'll give them to a few people I know could use them more than others. Anybody over 40, for the most part, should be taking a digestive enzyme, and that the main thing in that particular product is hydrochloric acid, HCl. So Joni's heard me talk about this one a few times, right? So I will be, those are like, hey, I'm always thinking like, animal protein, it's gonna be hard to digest that. Overcooked ham, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. So ham is gonna be a tough one to digest. It's already cooked. Then what do? We cook it again, right? So very hard to digest food. So enzymes help us break down our food. If you look at the ingredients of an enzyme, they're called digestive enzymes, and there's different companies. So I've been using Nutridyne or Designs for Health. I might go either one. They're the same. So glutathione is the same thing as Allerzyme, Joni. I think you have Allerzyme. I have Allerzyme too, but either one is fine. Glutathione or Allerzyme by Designs for Health helps us break down gluten, dairy, corn, and soy, some of the more harder to digest foods, but especially gluten. So I will, like I said, I'm going to deviate. I'm going to already tell you that, and I'm just going to take the pill. It's not perfect, but I will feel better when I have those enzymes. Okay.
Do you only
Um,
take that when you're not eating healthy? Or do you take that?
I'm not, the glutenzyme is only going to be when I'm taking gluten
Um,
or dairy. Yeah, gluten, dairy, and again, only certain dairies I'm worried about. Um, like if I have raw cheese, I'm not going to take it. But if I was to hypothetically have ice cream, like dairy-based ice cream, I'm going to take it. But if I had, yeah, raw, I probably wouldn't take it if I had raw milk or raw cheese because the enzymes are in those products. Raw milk products actually have enzymes in them, but when you pasteurize it, you no longer have lactase to break down that food. So that's a problem. So dairy, but traditional dairy, yeah. If you're out to eat, assume that it's the worst dairy you could eat for the most part.
okay.
So yes, so it'd be good to carry if you're going crazy. And again, everybody's gonna be different sensitivity to dairy and gluten. So not everybody is gonna have the same problems. Gluten, everybody. You can't escape it. This day and age with poor quality food in America, the massive amount of glyphosate in your system, it's screwing up your GI health. I don't think anybody can escape it. So digestive complete or something similar, HCl, should be part of everybody's uh, supplement protocol. And we can do more advanced testing to show that as well. Okay. Any other questions on that?
Mm-mm.
Or would you want to just be tested for that? Because I don't know that I want to take something like Digestive Complete without knowing that I have a problem digesting certain things. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, you could spend a couple $100 in testing. Yes. Yep.
And I have a
And
problem with non-pasteurized food, raw milk, and that. I don't think I'd ever do that.
okay. Yeah.
I don't believe
Yeah.
in that.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All right.
it's got nothing to do with the conversation, but yeah, so it's just they're two different issues. So one is enzymes. So if you look up hydrochloric acid, we reduce it with age. So when you're about 40, you have
Okay.
about 25% of the HCl you had when you were 25. So with age, with stress, we just have a reduction of HCl. And when we do a test like a GI microbiome test, we can
Mhm.
really see that effect, or even my other test too. It's called the metabolomic spotlight. So there's two tests we can see, but like I said, I mean, this is a pretty basic, fundamental thing about digestion. So, and it's just hard to digest. It's like everything's getting older, right? Not only your joints, your skin, but your organs don't digest very well. Your pancreas doesn't handle sugar that well, right? It's just kind of what it is with age. And there's a reason why I like that. What you remember what you told me the other day, Barbara, about how when you're 75, your life is kind of over.
That's what
Yeah. Peter
what's
Attia
his
said. Yeah.
yeah, Peter Attia. Yeah,
Yeah.
he goes, "You're falling
Yeah.
off the cliff." Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what I'm telling you is, so yes, you are, the normal person is, because they're not digesting well and they're not following these what I think are basic principles. If your blood sugar levels is up and down, you're not going to do very well, you know? So anyway, but these are things, yeah, we can test it for sure, but I've seen hundreds of these things and I don't think I've ever seen too many normal people yet. So, or normal, there's not even normal. There's no normal. So, I got to run here, but, just last couple things, just be careful of the leftovers. Like I'm going to eat the turkey as a leftover. I'll eat like gluten-free stuffing and stuff like that. Maybe I'll have a gluten-free pumpkin pie, dairy-free, which I eat actually throughout the entire year. I got the recipe below, or a similar one anyway. Um, I'll eat that stuff, but I'm just not going to eat, some of the more stressful. I'm not going to eat a dinner roll the next day, or regular stuffing. I'll do that one time. For me anyway, because I'm pretty sensitive. Last thing, the 5-minute rule. Take your time. Just take a little pause. If you're feeling full, stuffed, take it easy. Just don't feel like you need to eat the whole kitchen. Um, just take a little break.
Hmm.
And one thing I didn't add here is that for those people that just have zero ability to control what they're eating during the holidays, GLP-1s can really help. A microdose is so amazing. But it works even better when you're dialed in with your hormones and you're dialed in with your diet, you're working out. But that's, another strategy that could be very helpful. So anyway, so take a look at this, guys. If you have any questions, take a look. We can talk more. Down below here, you'll see there's a pumpkin pie recipe. There's a million pumpkin pie recipes. I just found a healthy one. We make
Cool.
pumpkin pie throughout the year. Love it. Okay. So, but yeah, I got to run. I got to teach a class here. And, but yeah, feel free to text me, Voxer me if you have any questions. Love to chat more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd recommend the Run to Feed the Hungry. We try to do that as a tradition every year
That's awesome.
because
Yep.
it benefits. Yeah, it's a fundraiser. So yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Yep.
Bye.
Good job. All
Bye.
right, guys.
Happy
I'll see you
Thanksgiving.
later.
Okay,
Bye.
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 Bye.